So a guy I met last year has been telling me for like the entire time we've met each other that he knows me from somewhere, but he just couldn't remember where or how we met, and I just kind of assumed that he's seen my doppelganger dancing because I'm good at faces, and I definitely know I never seen him before. So, but that turns out I was wrong, because he recently realized and figured out how or where he recognizes me from. He's a fan of Rob Gavagan and saw me in an episode of Into the Dark from like 6 years ago, and had a lot of questions for me. So, and this was just recently like that he figured this out, and this has happened. I realized Rob has quite a few fans here in Winnipeg, because like after that video was posted, I was recognized quite a bit from quite a few people. Asked me questions about it, and then kind of freaked out thinking that my house might have been here in Winnipeg. I could tell there's something wrong like the day we moved in, like right away. Like for the most part, for the first 10 years we lived there, it was mostly just the activity there. I noticed was hearing some unexplainable sounds, the weird little creepy closet in my bedroom, like the doors would always open every like morning between like 1 and 3 a.m. But anytime I slept out, and when I came home, the doors they weren't open, so I'm not sure if they just didn't open like when I was there, or if they would open and then close on their own. Whenever they'd open, occasionally stuff would move on its own. Like my sister was on webcam with one of her friends one time, and when she was home alone, and they asked her who was at her place with, or who was like walking around the house behind her, and yeah, there's nobody there, but her friends seen someone behind her on the webcam. Just feelings being watched. The worst was the basement, because like I hated being down there. Like I just felt like as soon as I got down the steps, it felt like if somebody was like right behind me, like right on my back, just like being very intimidating and threatening and like this very overwhelming feeling. Like if I had to go down there, I tried to do whatever I could to get my mom to come down with me so I wouldn't have to go down there alone. And when I did, I just run down there, when I closed my watch really quickly or else in the jar, and then rush back up. And I would not cope with that. 2 years earlier with her boyfriend, or my stepdad, like after they were together for a while, but she moved to a different province. It's like not that far away, but there's still 2 towns away in Saskatchewan. And my sister, she moved out after she turned 18. She moved in with her boyfriend right before they had their daughter, and they had like a little small apartment. So that's the reason why like I didn't go live with either of them. I could handle living there alone as long as I didn't have to do my laundry at home, because whatever, that's the only part of the house actually I found to be problematic and scary. But that everything like changed right within the first month of me living there alone. I started experiencing the attacks, and they only happened when I was going to bed, like before, like as soon as after I turned the light off and I sat into bed, like before my head even hit my pillow. That's when suddenly a shadow would just be like on top of me, or like in front of me, and be like grabbing at me, like choking me, shaking me, kind of like just like, and it was just like sometimes hitting me, scratching me, like it was just like really sudden, manic, just wild like attack. Like I've never felt like any actual, like I didn't feel like I was ever actually like punched or anything. It felt like I could feel like full hands like around my throat, or like and stuff, and a lot of shaking and stuff. They at first it only happened once per night, and they last only a couple seconds, like maybe like a minute at longest. So, and then it's suddenly, as quickly as like there's suddenly a shadow on top of me, like it'd be gone as quickly as it came. And so like I was sure that I was just having some really weird, vivid nightmares that were just taking place in the same room I was in and stuff. So I was able to move during it, because as soon as it was gone, and I thought I was woken up, I'd still be in the same position I was in when it trying to fight this thing off me. And I looked at I looked up sleep paralysis because I was trying to find out because I thought maybe I was having seizures or something in my sleep for like since I was a kid, or maybe there's something that happened, or maybe like what I was experiencing had something to do with my Tourette's, because I've been experiencing sleep paralysis since like most of my life, but I never seen anything during it. But I read stuff that I found online that a lot of people do experience like hallucinations. I've never done that. I've never had like any visuals in my sleep paralysis. I just wake up. I can only open my eyes and move my eyes around, but I can't move. It feels like I'm being suffocated. I don't ever see anything. I can hear breathing coming from a source that isn't from me, or like, I was pretty unsure that it was just some really messed up nightmares or dreams or sleep paralysis, whatever, so I wasn't too concerned about it until I started noticing like the marks left over. Like the next day it looked like I could see like hand marks, but it was like red marks that were like stuck there, or slightly bruised and stuff that would be like there for like a day or two, like afterwards, like bruises and stuff like left over. So I was like, okay, I'm like, I know I did not do that to myself, like. And after this went on for about 2 months almost, we're stuck to just the once a night right before my head hit the pillow, and only just, and it was like last for like a minute or at longest, and then it's got done. So like once it happened, once it was done, if we're done with it, I was good for the rest of the night. And then it was my day off of work, and I wanted to try and sleep in because I had just worked awake, and if I was annoyed, I wanted to try and like just see if I could lay there for a little while longer and just like look out the window, watch the snow, because I like snow. So if I just watched it fall for a while, maybe I get like just be able to fall back to sleep for a little bit. And I just suddenly felt this like bony, cold, like large hand, like on the back of my head, like and twisted me onto my stomach and face down into the pillow, like, and it was like holding me down. Like I was fighting to try and get up, and I could not get my face up, and it was like just every more I struggled, the harder down my face was being pushed in the pillow, and I could not breathe. I was like being smothered, and the entire time my face was down in the pillow in this really horrible, like raspy, like whispery, like voice. It's like a very decrepit. It was just a very scary voice, and it whispered the Lord's Prayer into my left ear. I could feel the breath like hitting my face as it was speaking. Like I thought somebody was in my house. Like I did not at all think that there's anything paranormal to it. Like I thought somebody broke into my house and they were just fucking with me and going to kill me, and just like in this really messed up way. And just the way that they're like they were done, it was lifted up. Like it's like, and I could lift up my head and I took a breath, and I was like freaking out because like I was looking around and there's nobody in my room. I'm like, I started running around my house searching to find someone that's in there. Nobody's in my house. I've got my phone, like I'm like on ready to dial, like not in my hand, ready to dial 911, and there's nobody there. And I couldn't explain it, and I was freaked out. I had no idea like what I experienced, and like I had no idea like how to even explain it to anybody, because I know like if anyone who's skeptic of this stuff, I know I'm sounding crazy. Like I am very well aware of that. I really hoped I was, like I actually was really hoping that I was crazy or has some sort of psychological issue. Like I went for multiple like evaluations, just trying to find just hoping that I would get the results of something that would cause like delusions or hallucinations or anything, just because if it was all in my head, then it can be medicated away and done with, and that would be very simple to do. But unfortunately I was only dealing with depression and anxiety and ADHD. Torment and the terrorizing became like constant, like all day, all night, no matter what. Like when I was awake, I wouldn't even like, I could be walking through my kitchen, wide awake, nowhere near being ready for bed or going near my room or in my bed, and I'd be like shoved or like dragged and stuff like through the kitchen. I would be clawed. I have actual like scars on me from it clawing me. Like I'd have my hair pulled. I'd have my clothes pulled and tugged like into the point like so hard that I'd actually be pulled down to the ground. It was messed up. Like I'd be walking through a room and the light bulbs would shoot. Like this happened more than once. A light bulb, just the glass part of the bulb, would shoot out from the lamp that wasn't even plugged in or turned on, and hit me. It wouldn't break. I just get hit hard with this warm bulb that's somehow warm from a lamp that had not been plugged in months because I unplugged it because after I had moved. I was in March of 2012. I suddenly started having nightmares about my house in Fulfon, like just out of nowhere. Like, and I always had a dream journal then that I always wrote into, like every time I woke up and I had this dream. And after I saw my mom for about 3 months after that, because about 3 months after my nightmare started, and it was like every night I was like telling her about it, like every nightmare I had, like every night I was telling her that about them, because like they just freaked me out, and they're just so upsetting and bothering me so much. So like she ended up sending me a photo of an empty lot, just and I was like confused by why she sent me the picture. And I noticed like on the sides of it are my neighbors' houses, and I was like, and then I also noticed the giant fire hydrant that was in front of our house. I'm like, is that our house? Like, is the house gone? She's like, yeah. She's like, I was waiting till you came back for a visit to surprise you with it being torn down because I know how much you hate it. She's like, well, maybe if you know that it's not there anymore, that the house is gone, that maybe it'll help with your nightmares. Like, it'll help them stop. And I could see like it was obviously wasn't just torn down because there's grass and everything. Like it looked like it had been like gone for like a few months at least. And I was like, so I asked her like when like it got torn down, and the week that it was demolished was the same week that my nightmare started, and that freaked me out. Like one of my friends, he came over, and I never like I told he knew that like I didn't like my house and that I found it creepy and I would not go in my basement. And I never explained why. So he was over and he was asking like about it. So me and my girlfriend really told him like, yeah, okay, go by all means, go down there and like see what it's like and come up and just tell us what you think of it. He went down there fine. He came back up like white, like, and looking right angry, and he's like, fuck you guys. He's like, he's like fuck you, fuck your house. He's like, I'm not coming back here. And we had to follow him out into my yard to get him to explain why, what happened for him to have that response. And he's like, I just stepped into your basement, and I just stepped into my nightmare. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, the recurring nightmare I've had since I was a little kid. He's like, the one thing that I was okay with was telling myself that like that room that my nightmare takes place in isn't real. It's your basement. He's like, it's your fucking basement. He's like, I'm not coming back here. And he didn't. He wouldn't even drive on my street anymore. Like if he came to pick me up or whatever, I'd have to go meet him at the end of the block. I spent as much time out of my house as possible. Like I worked up to 3 jobs at a time. I had a vacation business. I'd be out with friends. Like I'm naturally introverted, but like I forced myself to be extroverted and be very outgoing just so I could have like reasons so I could get out of the house as much as possible.